Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think gets overlooked a lot when it comes to archery. Because you think about it, you put a lot of time and research into what bow you're going to buy, what arrows you're going to use. You're going to use field tips, you're going to use broadheads, you're going to use feather fletchings, plastic vanes, shooting tab, glove, on and on and on. All of those questions go into it when you're first starting out in archery. But I think the one thing that we overlook a lot is what quiver are you going to use to haul around all of those arrows that eventually you're going to be purchasing. So in this video, we're going to dive into a couple of quivers that you can get inexpensively that I think will serve your needs perfectly, whether you're a hunter or whether you're just a target archer, maybe hanging out in your backyard like I do shooting archery. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video, so stick around. We're going to dive into those right after this. Now, quivers come in all different styles and all different price ranges. You can spend a lot of money on a quiver, but I personally don't think you need to, because really they're just meant to carry your arrows around. Now, if you're in a hunting situation, that's going to be a little different because you're going to spend a little bit of extra money to get a decent bow-mounted quiver. You could use something like this, which I don't really recommend. This is an old one, but this is just a quickie mount. What they call these. These just mount to the limbs of your bow, and then your arrows, of course, they fit into the little grooves here. But again, for a hunting situation, you're going to need something that's more specialized than just a field or a back type quiver. But again, the field and the back type quivers will actually work. So again, price ranges vary. You can go anywhere from $25 on up to $125, just depending on what you buy. Now, the ones I'm going to show you in this video are inexpensive quivers that you can pick up on Amazon. And the reason I purchased them on Amazon is because my local shop didn't carry these styles. And, I wanted to get something just to carry my arrows in when I'm, in the backyard shooting at targets. Or if I happen to, go out somewhere else, maybe to an archery range or whatever that is. So let me show you some of these quivers, and what I'm going to do is tell you what I like about them and then tell you what I don't like about them, because there are some pros and cons to each one. So let's get into that, and we'll start with the very first one. Okay, the first quiver that I have is this X-Tacker. That's the name on Amazon that you can purchase this. You can get these in different names, different manufacturers, but that's the one I picked up, and I've had this one for about 3 or 4 years. This is a 3-tube hip quiver. It's made of 900D Oxford canvas material, I guess is what you call it. The stitching is pretty heavy duty on this one. I've not had any issues out of this since I purchased it, and I've had it for a couple of years. It is a 3-tube style quiver. This will hold about, 12 to 15 arrows, depending on, how many you actually want to carry at any given time. It comes with zippered pockets. Zippered pocket here. You can carry an arm guard. You can put a stringer tool. You can put string wax, extra strings, whatever you're actually going to need when you're out at the range or when you're out, just shooting out and about. A nice zippered pocket here where you could keep your tab or any other thing that you may need to have with you. Something, just a place to store stuff, really. Comes with a belt. Actually has a nice little clasp on it here. This is a pretty solid clasp. I've never had an issue with this coming loose. Actually does really well. Fully adjustable, of course. This one goes for about 28 bucks on Amazon right now. I forget what I paid for it when I picked mine up, but again, you can get different colors, different styles of this. This is just a camo black color scheme, if you will. You could use this for hunting. I wouldn't suggest it, and the reason I wouldn't is because of these plastic tubes. They're really loud when you're walking around, with your arrows in the quiver itself. And it's a pretty, it's a pretty significant noise. And the reason it is, now I shoot carbon arrows, so carbon arrows bouncing around on that plastic is probably not, helping with that noise at all. But let me let you hear what this sounds like when you actually have arrows in this quiver walking around. As you can hear the arrows bouncing around in those plastic tubes there. It is a good quiver though. The only negative to it is this, and this is a negative for me, it may not be for you, is the direction that your nocks are going to point. So if you wanted to try to use this one in a hunting situation, especially if you're out walking around or stalking or anything like that. This is going to get caught on a lot of things, and I find that when I use this quiver, my bow, I'll accidentally hit the arrows like this with my bow. So it kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. That's the negative to this. I mean, the pros, it does have a lot of storage. It does come with a belt. It is secure. Nice heavy fabric that you can, depend on to keep your arrows secured for years, like this one has. And of course, the tubes themselves, me using carbon arrows with these tubes, you can hear, that's just not going to work in a hunting situation. But all in all, this is still a great quiver just for field use. Again, you're going to have to get used to this because the arrow knocks dew point forward. So my bow is constantly hitting that. But again, $28 on Amazon. This is not a bad deal for you if you just looking to get something quick and easy to carry your arrows around in when you're out target practicing. All right, the next one in my collection is another hip quiver. This is a field style hip quiver. This is a 4-tube design. I think the name of this one is Kratark. I don't know why they can't just name these things normally. Just call it a hip quiver. Jeez. Well, this one is Kratark 4-tube hip quiver, made of the same 900D Oxford canvas material, whatever you want to call that. Nice heavy duty stitching. This does have zippered pockets on it, or a zippered pocket. So you can actually put in a few little things. You can put in a stringer tool, string wax, tabs, whatever, that you need to carry around with this, and it does have a little insert pocket there. This one does come with a belt as well. The reviews on this one said that the belt was really bad. I don't know what's bad about a quiver that comes with a belt. I mean, this one actually works pretty good. It does its purpose. It holds the quiver on you, and it does actually come with a plastic clip as well. Pretty solid clip there. This one's just like the last one. It's really noisy because of the plastic tubes, and of course, again, my carbon arrows bouncing around in there. Maybe if I used wooden arrows, it wouldn't transfer that noise so much, but again, this one is pretty noisy. But I do like this design, and the reason I do, because when you actually put this on, the nocks of the arrows point behind you. So if you wanted to do this walking around maybe in a wooded area or a place that has a lot of brush or whatnot, the arrows are actually pointing behind you, so that's a positive to me, and they're not going to be getting caught on things. But it is kind of noisy, so I don't think I would use this one in a hunting situation either. But again, for your just standard out in your backyard shooting or field archery shooting or target range shooting, whatever that is, and that's why I picked this one up, because I wanted to try it out, and because of the price. I wasn't going to be out a lot of money if I actually hated the quiver. So let me put this one on, kind of let you hear some of the noise coming out of it as well. Now, like I stated earlier, I do like the design of this because the arrow nocks are facing behind you, so they're not getting in the way when you're moving around, whether that's hitting them with your arm or hitting the arrows with your bow. Again, nice design, good solid belt. I don't know why the reviews were so bad on the belt itself. Again, it works fine for me. I've not had any issues out of it, but you can hear the noise. So if you're walking around with this in the woods and you're trying to hunt with it, that noise is going to be an issue. You're not going to really be as stealthy as you might want to be using this quiver. But for target shooting in your backyard or just at a range, this one is another good option. Again, I like this design where you can pull the arrow out easily. It's out of the way. You don't have to worry about catching anything on your arrows. And if you decided to go walking through some brush, the arrows are pointing behind you, so you're going to not catch on a lot of stuff. Everything's going to kind of go by the arrows as you're walking around. But again, $24 on Amazon. This is a good option. And again, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a quiver to get something that's decent and to get something that you can use for a long period of time. All right, last but not least, this is a back quiver. To be honest with you, I bought this one because I think it looks cool. That's the truth of it. But it is a decent quiver. It is a no-tube design, as you can see. There's no tubes that comes in this. So it is the most quiet quiver that I own. But it is a good solid construction. It's the same 900D Oxford material that I think all of these are built out of. This has quality heavy-duty stitching, so you don't have to worry about that. It does come with an insert inside the bottom here, so you don't have to worry about when you're dropping your arrows in this quiver that they're going to damage and poke through the material at the bottom. Because again, it's just a, I think it's just a foam or, you know, thick foam insert. Yeah, that's what it is there. This does come with a zippered pocket up front, so you can carry additional string, stringer tool, whatever other tools you may need for, you know, a day out shooting. Also comes with another Velcro pocket here where you can put in a tab, you can put in an additional string, you can put in a shooting glove, whatever that is you want to. The only thing with these, you've got to get these adjusted to your body. And once you get them adjusted, they're easy to wear, they're comfortable, the arrows are out of the way, and they don't interfere with your shooting. So let me fill this one up with some arrows, and I'll let you hear this one as well, let you see the fit, and then we'll close out this video. So out of all my quivers that I have, I think this one's probably my favorite, just because of the design and just because it is actually out of the way the most. There is a negative to this one though. Let me get this thing hooked up here. Again, you're going to have to get this adjusted to your body, and that takes a little bit of doing, but once you do, it fits comfortably, as you can see. Nice. Let's see if I can brighten this image up just a little bit. There's a lot of black in that. There we go. So as you can see, it does fit well. It keeps the arrows out of the way. It feels a little snug when you're first using it, but it's, you know, you get used to it. Doesn't interfere with your shooting, doesn't interfere with your draw, doesn't interfere with really anything you have that you're doing when you're out at the range. It's a little bit weird to get used to, and I'll be honest with you, I kind of feel like a goober wearing this thing around like a Robin Hood or something. Now, the negative to this quiver is this. You know, you're going to have to get used to actually pulling the arrows out, and that's going to take you a little bit of getting used to. It took me, you know, a day using this thing to get used to it. But the other negative to this quiver is this. Missing the quiver when you're actually putting your arrows back in. So that's going to take a little bit of practice to figure out how to do that. And I think once you get that figured out, you'll get more enjoyment out of this quiver. I know I was hating it there for a while because I kept doing that. I was throwing arrows on the ground. So you're going to have to take some time, get used to that muscle memory, getting your arrows in and out of this quiver. But you can hear not a lot of noise coming from this one because, again, those tubes are not there. So shooting carbon arrows is actually going to affect really all of these quivers and the noise that comes from them. But, you know, maybe if I shot wooden arrows, it would quiet these down even more. But, again, for what you pay, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can buy these very inexpensively and they work effectively. So if you just need a quiver and you need something to get you up and going and you're just getting started in your archery journey, don't hesitate to buy one of these or something similar to these, because again, these are good, solid construction, inexpensive, easy to get into, easy to use, and can carry a fair amount of arrows, each and every one of them. So again, I hope that's helped you out and maybe making a decision, especially if you're in the market for a quiver. But thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. You know, I hope you enjoy the content that you do see. And if you're new here and, you know, kind of stumbled onto my channel and you do like the content, please consider subscribing. And please leave comments. I love the comment sections. I love when people leave the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know your feedback. Again, it's important to hear your feedback. And if you got something you want to see or something you want to talk about here, please leave it in the comments below and I'll try to make a video on it. But come back and hang out with me sometime. I do appreciate it. More than you know, I do appreciate it. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great day, a better day tomorrow, and a wonderful week ahead of you. And until next time.